I'm gonna be calm now. So, we have now here the universal question. Which was stupider? The movie or the audience? This was, without a doubt, one of the most unpleasant film-going experiences I have ever had in my entire life. Especially made worse when you're seeing it with your best friend because he's had a rough day and he's trying to unwind, and you're like, hey man, let's go to a movie. Let's do that thing we do where we go and we chill and we have a good time. And it feels like every fate on earth conspires against you. Part of that is not the movie's fault. This is what happens when you go to a movie that just opened on a Saturday night. Because you end up, I'm going to get off on this rant first, and I'll get off on the other. You end up in a room with every asshole. And pardon my language, but that is just the only word to describe it. Every asshole whose parents could not be bothered to take the time to raise them correctly, to not talk during a movie, to not shout during a movie, to not talk at the screen. Girl, get out of there! Run! Oh, she's so stupid! Now, the only upside to this is that it's not like these people, this crowd, because it was all of them, it was like almost the entire place, just non-stop talking. It's not like they actually ruined a good movie. Matt said it best. I don't know why we keep giving Shyamalan chances. I don't know who keeps giving him permission and money and the ability to make movies. I don't know who thinks this is a good idea anymore. And I feel perfectly justified in saying that I was on this bandwagon long before it was cool. I didn't think The Sixth Sense was a good movie either. I didn't think it was terrible. But I certainly didn't think it was this awe-inspiring thing that people have made it out to be since it came out. And movie after movie after movie, he just proves why we should stop. I'm beginning to believe that all of this, that we're all being punked, that Ashton Kutcher is behind this somehow, that he's doing this on purpose. That this seems too, it happens too often to just be a coincidence, doesn't it? I mean, it feels like, it really feels like we're being punked, like he's doing this deliberately. To see how much money he will fork out of us, to see his schlock. This movie is just it is a Shyamalan film. And we now need a new classification for a Shyamalan film on the shit meter. This movie is, all of his films just, I can't form words for the anger that this film inspires in me. I thought Manchester by the Sea was incompetent, because that one feels like it's pretentious incompetence, but I don't necessarily feel like it was intentional incompetence. This one I truly feel is intentional incompetence. This is just a God awful movie. Oh, okay. Let's try to put this into some kind of perspective. Let's try now to think clearly. So, in case you didn't know from the trailers, because the trailers tell you everything you need to know. Is that this film, James McAvery, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, Professor X from the new X-Men films, is a guy with multiple personality disorder who kidnaps 3 girls and is holding them captives, and he keeps switching between personalities, and you're never sure what's going on, and you're never sure which personality it is or what the danger is. They keep saying he's going to feed these girls to something called the Beast, which it turns out is this guy. Oh, by the way, I'm going to say this right now. This review is going to have spoilers. And normally I'm very sensitive about that. I get that, people want to see films on their own, and that's fine. That's fine and dandy. So I'm saying this right now. This movie has spoilers. So if you are in any way interested in seeing this movie, then you need to stop watching this right now. Stop it right now. Okay? Because this movie has spoilers, and I am going to talk about those spoilers because I don't give enough of a crap about Shyamalan and his twisted beliefs and his twisted attempts to try to now create a cinematic Shyamalaniverse, as Matt puts it. I don't care. Okay? But if you do, turn this off. Everybody else, stick with me. Okay. So, and as it turns out, all these personalities worship this one personality that hasn't emerged called the Beast, which is like a higher, supposed to be a higher level of evolution. That the personalities believe it so much that they'll actually take on other physical characteristics that will become like bulletproof and crap. And so that happens. So that's stupid in and of itself. Now here's the really stupid thing. I'm just taking these as they come, folks. So as we all know, what Shyamalan is most known for are his twists, his clever little twists. Well, here's the twist in this movie. There's no damn twist, and I'm not saying that in anger that oh no, we didn't get a crappy Shyamalan twist. I'm saying it in that everything he does, every part of this film, is building up to a twist. And that twist never comes. They have one of the girls he kidnaps. I believe the character's name is Casey. I don't know the actress's name. I apologize. She's the lone good thing in the movie. I'll talk about her in a second. They keep flashing back to her past and kind of how she ended up there. And, she had a traumatic past. And they keep hinting it's trauma, it's childhood trauma that sparks, multiple personalities. And they keep building and they keep building. And you're going, okay, this girl is obviously going to become, it's going to turn out she's got split personalities too because of the childhood trauma she suffered. Which is disgusting, by the way. Anyway. So you're like, okay, this monster is going to be chasing her, and suddenly she's going to become the monster, and, yay. Never happened. We get no payoff to her story. None. There is no payoff to her. They build this up, and I don't even care if there wasn't a twist. It doesn't bother me if there wasn't a twist. What I care about is there's no payoff to this girl's story. Not a one. So you got that. Now, to this movie's credit, there are a few things I got to give this movie a little bit of credit on. that, for the most part, it tries to avoid usual horror movie cliches. Alright? It tries to avoid them. It ends up having them. But it tries to actually deliver you some kind of psychological thriller. The problem is that the acting in this movie is so shit, is so bad, that you get the feeling no one is taking it seriously. The dialogue is about as good as one of the Star Wars prequels, and the acting is just a shade too self-conscious. I keep telling some of my students, both TBA and here, that, there's a difference between feeling an emotion and showing an emotion. And when you're on stage, when you're trying to have an honest, performance, what you need is not to show me that you're feeling something. You need to actually feel it. This movie goes the opposite route and says, no, just show me what you think a little kid talks like. Show me what you think some crazy religious guy talks like. Don't actually feel it, just show it. You can tell James McAvoy, who believes that this is his big star turn, one of those films where an actor gets to show off their range, and it doesn't show off his range. It doesn't show off his range any more than a one-man show does. There's no range here, folks. It's pretty rangeless. So there's that. And everybody's done. So the dialogue is awful. The acting is awful on top of it. With the exception, in my opinion, of the young lady who's playing, again, I think her name's Casey, the main girl. I think she underplays stuff really well, and I think she's if there's any tension to be gained from this, it's from her. She sells it, and I think not given a lot to work with. I think she does a good job. Now here's the kicker, and here's the thing. Here's the frickin' thing. So apparently now, as Matt coined it, apparently now we, for some reason, feel the need, thanks to the Avengers, so we can all thank them for this. I used to love the Marvel films, but after seeing this and seeing a trailer for The Mummy, which I'll talk about in a second, I'm now starting to hate the thing I once loved because of what it has unleashed upon us. With this, now everything has to be a franchise, and everything has to tie together. So in the end of this film, the big twist that I'm not supposed to talk about is that they're at the end of the film, the camera goes to this coffee shop where a bunch of people are watching, and they're talking about the character James McAvoy who escaped, and they're calling him the Horde, because of all his multiple personalities. And these women are sitting there talking, and they go, oh, what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that other crazy guy in the wheelchair a few years ago. What was his name? And they lean back, and Bruce Willis is there going, Mr. Glass. And he sips, and he looks up at the TV as if knowing that he and the Horde are going to have some kind of confrontation down the line. That's your big twist. M. Night Shyamalan is trying to tie this movie to Unbreakable to now make the Shyamalaniverse. Okay? And again, here's why I don't care about ruining this. Who asked for that? Who the hell likes Shyamalan's movies that much? Nobody asked for it. Nobody wants that. And I am willing to bet money that unless you were a fan of Unbreakable, which, people say they're fans, I've never met a person who actually watched it, no one's going to give a shit about this. This is not a twist. Okay? This isn't a catch ending. This is not a clever post-credit sequence to set up, Thor 2 or the Avengers. This is you and your goddamn ego, Shyamalan. Nobody wants a Shyamalaniverse. Your movies suck, and you can write as many movies as you want, casting yourself as some kind of writer who's going to save the world because we just don't understand your brilliance. You can write all those you want, buddy. Your films suck. Suck, suck, suck. You are the undisputed king of sucking. And every time we think you can't suck anymore, you somehow manage to plug in the Suckomatic 5000 and suck more life, money, and joy out of us. I remember a time, gentle viewers, I remember the days before the Shyamalan. It seemed as if children laughed more then. The sky was brighter. There were concerts in the park. Those days are done now. We as a nation, this is the first step, people. This is the first step. I feel it. For real change. We want to stand up against all the people oppressing us. We want to stand up against this. Yes, let's do that. And let's start with Shyamalan. Someone needs to stop him from making movies. You are banned from making movies, sir. You tried. You tried. You got further than all of us, than a lot of us, I should say. But you suck. You suck, suckity, suck, sucker, suck. You're M. Night Shyamalan. That's terrible. I got better than that, but I'm mad. Oh. Dr. Clayton Forrester had it wrong. You want to drive a man insane with bad movies, you don't strand him on a spaceship and make him watch bad movies from the 40s and 50s with two wisecracking robot puppets. You make him watch an M. Night Shyamalan with a room full of 99 other assholes that you spend so much time trying to get away from in life. And yet somehow you willingly put yourself into this situation. And I'm talking everybody in that theater. Young people, old people, every race, creed, and color. Every one of them talking at the screen. Duh! Ah! Ah! This movie is an abomination. M. Night Shyamalan, we need to break his cameras. The only joy I got out of this movie is that he has this love affair with, shots where people are coming right at the camera. Maybe he thought he was making a 3D film. And every so often, like when the girls are banging on the door, trying to get out, they're like doing this, or they're like jabbing this. And at one point, I think one of the girls grabs a baseball bat, and she's like whacking the doorknob with it, or something like that. And the only joy I got out of this movie are in those rare shots where they're doing that and they're attacking the door. I imagined they were attacking Shyamalan. And that brought joy and laughter back to my heart. For those rare instances, it was like, thank you, sweet children. I know you don't want to be in this movie either. Obviously you're thinking it's your big break. It worked for Bryce Dallas Howard, who, again, is an actress I like, but I haven't seen her in one movie I like her in. So, so I went in, I tried to go into this with an open mind. Like I said, I didn't like Shyamalan's movies even before the world collectively decided not to like Shyamalan's movies. And I'm also not a horror movie fan. It's not made for me. So, there's a big difference between a movie being bad and a movie just not being for you. You know what I mean? Like, with normal horror movies, I may not like it, but that doesn't make it bad because it's not something I enjoy. So I'm already going in with a strike against it. But no, friends, no. This is a Shyamalan film. That's all we need to say anymore. That's all we need. Shyamalan movie. People like to pick on George Lucas a lot, but you know what? This guy's worse. People like to pick on Coleman Francis, that his films were dour and depressing and so devoid of life and joy. Shyamalan's worse. People like to pick on poor Ed Wood. Poor, inept, alcoholic Ed Wood. And his rubber monsters and his paper plate, paper plate airplanes and UFOs and really flamboyant aliens and a guy doing this pretending to be Bela Lugosi. We like to ditch poor Ed Wood, but no Ed, you can rest assured of that, my friend. You may not have had a lot of success in life, but I tell you this now, Shyamalan is worse. People make fun of poor Bird-Eye Gordon. Special effects were terrible. Plots were weird. No, don't worry, Bird-Eye. Shyamalan is worse. I cannot think of a worse filmmaker, my friends. And more to the point, I can't think of a worse filmmaker who has garnered this much money and name recognition. The Shyamalan is the beast, my friends. He is the lost personality. He is the one we must fear. For now we are living in a world where megalomaniacal morons can become president, and M. Night Shyamalan can have the Shyamalaniverse. What kind of God allows this? I am mad. So, I'm going to try to pick my movies a little better in future. Because, this is not the movie to take your friend to unwind. It's in someday. One day I'm going to punch Shyamalan in the face. That's going to be a thing that happens. One day I'll meet him. He'll probably be a lovely human being. Hello, Brandon. How are you? Hello, Mr. Shyamalan. Boom. But no, I won't do it that way. I'll get to know him first. We'll become friends. We'll go out. We'll have a few beers. I don't even drink. That's how committed I am to this. We'll become friends. I'll become godfather to his kids. We'll live a long, happy friendship. And then one day, just poof. What was that for? That is for your shit movies. Because you're a shit director, you shitty McShitterton. Stop making movies! Okay. I ain't mad. I ain't mad at the Shyamalaniverse now. Oh, goody. Yay. Think Last Airbender is a part of it? I mean, do you think The Village is a part of the Shyamalaniverse? Is that going on at the same time? Is that a thing now? Oh God! So yeah, that was Split. So we're gonna try to see a less madness-inducing film next time, just for fun. Until then, drive safe, and I will see you at the movies.